Hello. Oh my God. Right, okay, let's be honest. Um, so, I have gotten up from trying to sleep. My stream, my team, my guides, whatever you want to call them, my dimensionals, my fractals, they've been really going around in my head tonight speaking to me. And I was told to get up and do this. So we're doing it. I was told the beautiful Joanne from Extension Evolution, if you're already not subscribed to her, hop over her channel because she'll blow your absolute mind. She's a dear sister. I love her very much. And I wouldn't be here doing this if it wasn't for her beautiful... No, I'm not going to say that. But anyway, I love you. Joanne, if you're watching this, I love you. What am I doing? So, giggles. Where do I start? I don't even know why I'm doing this. I can't even see what I'm doing because I've got no contact lenses in and I'm blind as a bat. So I don't even know if I'm terrified. I apologize. Oh, this is some... I'm not coming on here just to laugh. Okay, right. Let's be serious. Let's get serious. Anyway. So, I'm trying to go to sleep tonight, but before I go to sleep, you know, I've been feeling really called to detox. Not for any other purpose than just to detox. And before I went to sleep, I was writing out a frequency transmission for myself and for another beautiful soul that I'm doing a frequency transmission for. So, when I get these frequency transmissions, I am guided as to how the physical body works. And I am given words in my mind where to look at that could be causing those certain things. So when I went to bed tonight, I heard, do what Joanne does. I was like, what do you mean, do what Joanne does? Hold yourself accountable. You know, like Joanne goes in the cold tub. She holds herself accountable, doesn't she? And I was like, yeah. They said, well, speak about your journey and your experience and hold yourself accountable on YouTube. Now, I am going to be very honest with you. You know, I do these videos and I hide behind a microphone because I feel comfortable hiding behind a microphone. Like doing this in my pajamas with a sage hole. I'm sorry, it's a sage hole. Okay. No makeup on, hair all over the place, you know. Because I'm like, I can't see anything. It looks like I've got a slap heat. I'm sorry. Anyway, I love myself and I mean that with love. So they said I needed to hold myself accountable. And this is what I'm doing. And I was like, okay, well, in the morning I'll get up and then I'll start talking about it. And they wouldn't let me sleep. They wouldn't let me sleep. They said, no, you've got to do it now. So I was like, what now? Like, I'm up at 6 in the morning. Why are you making me do it now? They're like, no, now. I was like, okay. So here we are. I speak in riddles. I sometimes go off, I digress, then I come back, then I digress, then I come back. I go all over the place. You may make sense of this, you may not, and that's absolutely okay. But I've prevented myself from speaking on YouTube because there was a fear of external people that are in my reality that I no longer have contact with. But if they were to see this video, for whatever reason, they may cast heavy judgment on me. And I've sat with this for a very long time. And for this reason and this reason only, I've really held back from sharing my journey, from sharing my experience on YouTube. And I came to realize recently, going through a huge upgrade, like I was really unwell, chest infection, blah, blah, blah. It was just a huge upgrade that I was going through. Was that there was quite a lot of things that I was holding on to, that I was still trying to control in my reality. And in effect, that having this control was preventing me from going further. But it was the fear that was making me hold on to that control. It was the fear of fully letting go. And I realised that this has had an effect on my weight. This has had an effect on my relationships. This has had an effect on my prosperity, my abundance in life. This has had an effect of how I feel about myself. Like, it's been a huge effect. And I was like, and it's also stopping me from sharing my journey. And I get so many ideas and so many information, and I keep it all to myself. And I was like, because I just feel that nobody will be interested. And I was like, who am I to judge? You know, one person may watch this video tonight, this evening, whenever you are, in the morning, whenever you are in the world, and may go, hell yeah, I resonate. So let's go. So I had planned to get up in the morning and talk about this, but anyway, they wouldn't let me. We're doing it tonight. So they asked me to start talking about Lionsgate. So Lionsgate last year, 2021, it's always the bloody Lionsgate. So my journey, I woke up in 2020. It was literally, I was pulled out of my meat suit. It was dragged out of that meat suit conscious-wise, and I was shown everything that's been going on in the world for a long, long time on Earth, everything galactic, like literally in one night. And I sat and I rocked and I cried and I couldn't believe what it was, what had happened. And thankfully I had the beautiful Joanne there to hold my hand. And I gave Joanne a phone and she said, well, yeah, welcome. You've just poked your head out into the little 4D reality. And it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And from there, I have just went, like, took off. And I started to understand energy, and I started to understand energetic hygiene and how certain things in reality can come into your energy fields, that how it can attach to you and feed off of you and, affect your reality, affect your thought processes, affect your emotions, all those sort of things. So Lionsgate 2021 really was the first Lionsgate that I really paid attention to, and I was really focused in on. And I went for it. And in between that, I was learning a little bit about myself, about how to paint, and not how to paint, but a skill set that I didn't actually realise that I had, but I always had throughout my whole life. I was able to paint. I didn't know I could draw sacred geometry, but I was able to paint. So I was learning that new skill set. So Lionsgate comes and we go through Lionsgate in 2021 and it's wonderful and I loved it. And then my world got turned upside down. I don't even know why why am I talking about this, guys? Anyway, so my world gets turned upside down. And I found out that I was pregnant. And that was something that I had to understand. And at first I was terrified. And then once I got used to it and sat with it and accepted it, I was then able to enjoy it. But then I became really unwell to the point that I was really, really poorly. I was like vomiting quite a lot and I couldn't focus on anything really. All I could focus on was looking after my girls, and that was my main priority, and that's what I did. So I focused on that, and there was one night I went to bed and I heard, well, it wasn't a heard, I seen that there's something wasn't quite right. And the following morning I had my first ultrasound. So I went to first ultrasound and I was told that there was something severely wrong. And I sat with that and I was like, well, how do I sit with this? Because, you know, I have this thought process, I have this belief. I really need to go inner here and figure out what it is that I can do. But anyway, by the by, it turned out that I, without sharing too much, because there's some parts I can share and there's some parts I just do not want to share. Not through fear or anything, because I feel it's quite personal. So, I ended up losing the baby, and then I had to give birth to the baby. So I gave birth to the baby on the 4th of November last year, and it was a really difficult time for us as a family. Really difficult time, and we were just getting over, well, we weren't even getting over it, what am I even saying, we were accepting it. And now I don't want to really share this. This is interesting. I don't want to put this video up. I just heard you have to. Okay. So, so, yeah, I gave birth to the baby. And then 4 weeks after that, my mum was found dead in her bed. Totally unexpected. She had been unwell. I'd seen her the night before. And I thought she looked much better. And 1 o'clock on December the 8th, my dad phoned me to tell me that he had found my mum and she was gone. Now, me being me, I was like, she's gone? I was like, so she's finally packed her bags, fucked off and left you? He was like, no, she's gone. So then I went into this fight or flight mode, and I ended up looking after everyone, not allowing myself the time to grieve. And I sat with it, and my vibration went down, and it had to go down because, you know, we go through certain things in our life and our vibration needs to go down in order for us to go back up. So my vibration went down, and I went through that whole process. And then I tried to understand. I tried to understand as to how and why my mum passed, but I could take solace that I know that we are in just a vessel, that, you know, our energy continues throughout all space, time and dimension. And I knew this wasn't the end for her as such, that her beautiful soul was just transitioning into her journey into further aiding humanity, and I've had proof of that. So but the physical part of me, this lower consciousness part of me, was trying to figure out as to what happened to her. So I seen my mum, spiritual realm, through meditation, etc., and she had came and told me that she passed away with sepsis. Then I got confirmation from other family members, etc., that was the case. I don't want to go into too much about it, but anyway, when I was trying to understand this, I then asked the universe to help me understand what was there something out there that could have helped her, that could help other people. And I was then introduced to the Healy by a beautiful family member, my beautiful cousin, Sinead, and she introduced me to the Healy. And as soon as I heard about it, I was like, I need to know more about it. So anyway, the Healy came into my life. I've been working with the Healy on a huge scale. And this video isn't about the Healy, but this is a video that I just want to share with you as to what I can do with the Healy and how this is going to help me hold myself accountable and help me help you. So, anyway, that's 15 minutes of sorry. That's like a right close up of my forehead. So, sorry. Why am I saying sorry? I don't have to say sorry. I don't know why I'm doing this. So, Healy. So, working with the Healy, etc., I've been learning lots about it, the microcurrents, how the body works, how your energy body works, how the 9 energy centers within the body works, how the dantians work, how the meridians work, how that can have an effect on your body, how that can bring on disease, how your emotions, how your thoughts, how your programming sits in your energetic fields. Things that you haven't healed from past incarnations can sit in your energetic fields. How that has an effect on your physical body. How that brings on disease. Okay, so I've been learning all of this since... Oh, this beautiful device came into my life. I didn't know anything about this. Although, I will say, throughout my whole life, I've had this super interest in how the body works. Although I never done anything about it. I went on a different tangent and went and studied law. And soon dropped law because I realised how corrupt law really was. And I thought, this isn't for me. I'm not interested in this anymore. So, sorry. I'm really going off on one tonight. I just heard, just keep going. So, God, they're not going to let me finish until I finish what I need to say. I don't even know what I need to, okay. So, I sound like a crazy woman. I'm actually a wee bit scared to post this because I sound like a crazy woman. Anyway, so with a Healy, no, that's not where I'm going. Right. So going back to Lionsgate 2021, we come to Lionsgate 2022. I go through the Lionsgate 2022, and again, we're hit with turning my world upside down. But this time, it was turning my world upside down in terms of looking at myself, looking at my self-worth, looking at my self-love, looking at the things that were holding me back from loving myself, from stepping into that self-worth, from stepping into my beliefs, my thoughts, my programming. There's many times that I was like, no, I'm giving up my art. Even recently, I'm giving up my art. I'm giving up like Galartic. I'm not doing this anymore because I don't feel that I can do this. I don't have the skill set that it's not worth my while. Really selfish. Very ego. And I've been sitting with that. Really sitting with that. And then I became unwell, interestingly. And I knew I was going through an upgrade, but this upgrade was like when I was pregnant, like this time last year, it was like, although I was here in the physical, my consciousness and going through the emotions in the physical and feeling those emotions and feeling it all, my consciousness was in a void observing. And it felt like when I went through the Lionsgate this year in 2022, I was doing the same thing. Although I was here in the physical, my consciousness was in the void and it was observing. And it was observing all my thoughts and it was observing all my beliefs with regards to myself, my relationships, my reality, my thought process with regards to lack. And I realised that I had the control. It was control. So much control. And I thought I'd let go of these control, but it was control on outcomes. It was control on expectations of these outcomes. In effect, this was then a form of control. And I was creating that lack therein because it was this control that I was like, it was just constant. And it got to the point that, you know, I really went inner and started connecting in with my stream more, started connecting in with my soul more, and started communicating with my soul and with my body. And my body was saying to me, like, you know, enough's enough now. You've put yourself through much, you know, trauma, through much emotion because you feel that you're less than and that you're not worthy of. So you then have these addictions. Like, for one, I was a smoker. And I realised that there was a link as to why I would smoke. And although I used to smoke, when back in the day when I had a drink and I used to have a cigarette, whenever I was in a stressful relationship, which I am still processing to a degree, I don't really want to go into that too much, I would smoke in order for me to cope with that stress. So even though I've been working on myself, etc., whenever I faced a stressful situation in my life, I would turn to smoke. It was a link. So I realised what that link was, and I accepted that link, and I loved that link, and I dropped that link, and therefore I was able to drop that addiction. If I've got a runny nose, I apologise. Like, this is all raw. You're getting the real deal here. So where am I going with this? Okay. So yeah, so we go through that, and then the next part was realising that I was and still am, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out, please. On a self-destruction as such, in terms of my body. Now, I was a dancer. I used to dance. I was very fit, looked after my body, became a mum, you know, let myself go a little bit, but I would always pull myself back. However, I realised that I've let myself go a lot. And throughout these years, through the past, 6 years, 5 years, 6 years, 6 years, I let myself go. And I let myself go because of a certain relationship that I'd been in that had caused me a lot of trauma, that had caused me a lot of pain, that had caused me a lot of grief. However, I am thankful for that relationship because I wouldn't be here talking to you guys if it wasn't for that. That relationship gave me the strength to wake the fuck up. And that's what I did. And I grew up and I put on my big girl pants as such. And but I realised that there was something deep-seated within me that was what's the word I'm looking for? That was setting me on a self-destruct anyway with regards to my body. Because I didn't want to look attractive. Because whenever I was at my most attractive, my goddess, whenever I was in my goddess, I would attract certain types of men. And those certain types of men would come into my reality and hurt me on many levels. And it was almost like I would attract them, but I would also want to save them. So it was a cycle. It was a pattern that needed to be broke. So anyway, tonight, could we not just get to the point of why we're doing these videos? Anyway, tonight, I'm going to do these every day, by the way. I'm holding myself accountable. I'm going to record every day. And I am going to record my journey from using the Healy, from using my individual transmission and the microcurrents to help me break through this self-destruction cycle that I have been in terms of my body and my beliefs and my lack of self-worth, because that's been going on for a long time now, and I'm tired of it, and my team's tired of it, and they really want me to step out of my box, and they really want me to share my journey with you guys, because I have come to realize that I do have something valuable to share. I've been in narcissistic relationships. I have been through trauma. I've been through grief. And I am still here talking to you guys today, even though throughout my awakening process that this has happened. My awakening process has given me the tools that that was always instilled in me to find that strength, to find that power. I mean, I'm not one for giving myself a pat on the back. I am not one for doing it. And the people who are in my reality will know that. And I'm getting really emotional. But from the year 2020, you know, my 2020 started off with somebody setting my house on fire. My rabbits were in the hutch. The rabbits escaped. They got severely burnt. Then we had the trauma of that. Then, you know, dealing with abuse in a relationship, not my current relationship, but previous relationships, dealing with abuse, standing in my power, fighting for my girls, etc. And then falling pregnant, losing the baby, giving birth to the baby, my mum. And I'm not being a victim. I'm just trying to share with you guys that no matter what is thrown to you throughout your journey in your life, you have the strength within you to get yourself back up and to keep fighting. And this is what I feel is going on with the collective at some point. May resonate, it may not resonate. Everything's energy, everything's vibration, everything's frequency. Everything. Absolutely everything. And the Healy has taught me this. And, you know, some people have beliefs about the Healy. Some people, you know, don't like it. Some people think it's rubbish. Some people, do you know what? It's all a belief system. And I swear by this beautiful Healy, and I work with it in my own way. I don't work with it in the way that other people within the Healy community works with it. I work with it in my own way. And I have learned from it. It's like we learn from each other. And it's a beautiful experience. And I would absolutely love to talk to Marcus Schmeike, the guy behind Healy. So Marcus Schmeike, if you ever come across this video, please hit me up, because I really need to speak to you about a few things. I would really appreciate your time. Please. But anyway, this beautiful device has helped me to create this frequency transmission. So, reason why I'm doing this video, I've just completely went on another tangent, but I felt I had to give you a backstory in order for myself to hold myself accountable with you guys, is that I create these frequency transmissions. You'll see that I created a frequency transmission for the Tsunurabe. I was called to do that. Now, whether it worked for you, whether it didn't work for you, I don't know. But I set the intention for it to work on the beautiful souls that were required, and to only do what was required and what those beautiful souls were ready for. So But again, it's a belief system. So if you believed it'll work. And if you don't believe, it won't believe, because obviously everything's a vibration. So if you're sitting in that vibration, it's not going to work for you if you feel that it's not going to work. So if you have that belief system that things will come into your reality, it will. This is how attract and manifestation works as well. And this is what I've also discovered. So, just the story is, tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up. I'm going to weigh myself. I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh, right? I am going to run my own individual frequency transmission that I have wrote out. It's got heaps of different frequencies in it, intentions, affirmations, an oil, vitamins, etc. I've recorded the frequencies of all these beautiful things. I have cremated. Oh my God, it's because we were speaking about death. I have created the frequency transmissions in my Healy for myself. I'm going to run those through. I'm going to run the microcurrents through, and I'm going to record my progress. And you're going to see the raw, real Kerry from Galarctics. Not that I haven't been real before, but I've held back. And I've held back from being my true authentic self because I was worried or fearful of people's, judgments, etc. Last Friday, I sat in my bed, and before I went to sleep, I literally had enough of myself as such, and I sat there and I went, do you know what? I have no fucks left to give anymore, and I really don't. I have no fucks left to give. I'm dropping all expectations. I'm dropping all outcomes in every aspect of my reality and my life. They are gone. I have no fucks. I completely surrender. And I have surrendered before, but I haven't completely surrendered my whole being. And that's what I did last Friday. And I feel this is why I'm here speaking to you guys today. Because I completely surrendered. Because I have no fucks left to give. So, whether this resonates with you or not, thank you for being here. If it doesn't resonate, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to be on this channel. You can leave. It's absolutely no judgment. I love you. If you know me and you're part of the external that I'm talking about, I love you. I forgive you, and I have nothing but love for you. Thank you for being here. I am doing well. Thank you. And God, what's happening? And all I had to drink was, before I went to sleep, was my little teapot with pine needles and cinnamon. That's it. And it's like, boom. Anyway. Oh, I'm still snotty and all. So you're going to see the real Kerry. You're going to see the real snotty Kerry. The real Kerry that's going to, like... Yeah, I don't know who's more scared, me or you. Anyway, if you sat and watched me waffle throughout this whole half hour, sorry, thank you for being here. I love you. And I will see you very soon. I'm holding myself accountable. Okay, I may not do it every day, but I will do it in divine time. And if I don't do it, whoever chooses to watch me through this journey, thank you. Feel free to email me to give me a kick up my bum if I don't do it. I am the worst at replying to emails. I will make that very clear. So mark it urgent. Urgent to kick up the arse. But no, my team's holding me accountable now. I believe it's because I have I'm stepping up big time. I've connected in with 2 fractals of mine recently. I'm learning, well, one myself and one through another beautiful soul. I was going to talk about that upgrade. Anyway, I'll talk about that tomorrow. The reason why I spoke about Lionsgate, because my body went through an upgrade. My DNA was altered. My DNA's been altered again. And funnily enough, it was at the very same time as what happened last year. And it was to do with a beautiful soul called Melchizedek. And Melchizedek was assisting in that. And Melchizedek has been assisting in it this time. However, I've been called to go work with the beautiful dragons. And I'll talk about that through my process if I'm allowed. I haven't asked permission yet, but if I can share that with you, I will. And yeah, now I'm waffling. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully I'll be allowed to sleep now. No fear, no fear. Feel the fear and do it anyway, as the beautiful JCK says, feel the fear and do it anyway. Anyway, I love you. Have a beautiful day of heaven and earth. Whenever you see this, have a beautiful rest. Have a beautiful morning. And I will see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.